Hello, everybody. Today, the topic is faith and chronic illness. And in my case, in my friend Sean's case, we are floxed. I was raised with a very strong faith by my grandmother, who was basically like my mother. And so I grew up very religious and even thought I wanted to be a nun. How funny is that? But I did. And when my husband got into his accident, that's the first place that I turned to. I was back to church. I was back to praying the rosary every day and praying for his survival. However, when I got sick, something changed. I started questioning, like, why? And I hear all the time, God only gives you what you can handle. And my grandmother told me I was the best person she ever knew, and that there would be something great waiting for me at the end. God would reward me for everything that I've done in my life. Those were her exact words. So I had that in my mind, and a good person my whole life and having a lot of faith. And then when I got sick, I started to doubt it. Why? I'm still in the phase where I'm trying to make sense of everything, and I thought, why would he let this happen to me? Why is it necessary for me to be sick so long and to suffer so long? What kind of God does that? And I try to think back to what would I say years ago if I had heard someone say that, because I don't think that that's something I would say. But now, I don't know, it's just different. And so when my husband recovered, I swear faith had a hand in his recovery, because I prayed and I went to church. But guess what? I'm praying now and nothing's happening. I mean, yes, you can say I'm alive, right? That's God's doing. It's somebody's doing. It has to be his. Why do any of us suffer like this for so long? So that's my topic for today. What part does faith have in someone's recovery? And my friend Sean will give his thoughts, because faith is very important to him as well. He's floxed like me too. Over to you, Sean.
Thank you, Talia. Thank you. Faith in chronic illness is a real tough one to deal with. A lot of you that are watching this video, you're saying, why me? And the question is, why not you? Sometimes when we go through something like that, like a chronic illness, we think, why would God allow this to happen to me? But why not? Really, it's a blessing. Me going through the chronic illness I went through caused me to lean on the Lord in such a way that I never thought was possible, that he would have to supply my every need. I was brought to a total state of helplessness. I was even left homeless for a year and a half on the streets of Houston. Nothing to eat, sometimes no place to lay my head. I was so sick, I was addicted. I was using drugs. My life was over. I wanted to die, and I couldn't understand how a loving God would allow this to happen to me. But in the midst of all of this darkness is where the true me came out. Through all of this suffering is where the new me was born. I now have a relation to hurt people. I now know how to serve people. I know how to be honest. I know how to love. I know how to deal with people. All of this came because of my severe suffering, because of my illness. So I'm hoping that someone watching this video can get the revelation that in this trial, in this sickness, in your illness, this is where the Lord does his greatest work in your darkest hour. It may not feel like it, but it's happening. And Talia, you mentioned that there's a reward at the end. There is. That was a prophetic message. Your reward is coming. As a matter of fact, it's already here. You might not see it, but our suffering is never our own. It's always for somebody else to get something out of, for somebody else to give hope to. I thank you for everything that I went through with my chronic illness, even though I still struggle daily and I still hurt and there's pain and I'm scared. He still comforts me at the right time, and it caused me to lean on him and call on him. And I'm hoping that if you watch this video and you're struggling with illness, that you call on the Lord Jesus and he answers you. He shows you that he's there for your every need, and he will be, time after time. Just don't give up your faith. Don't give up calling out on him. He's going to show you how much he loves you. He did it for me. He's going to do it for you. He's no respecter of person. He loves you the same. Please call on the Lord Jesus. He loves you. He's willing to take you through all of this as much as it hurts, and he's going to do it for other people. Persevere, soldier. Stand up in faith and believe. as much as it hurts. I love you. Thank you, Talia.